Hi everybody, how you doing? My name is Rob and I'm an illustrator. I illustrate for our company called Ayota Illustration. This is my favorite person in the world, Carla, and she also runs Ayota Illustration.
Hi.
Uh, Today when we were deciding what video to do, we figured we would do a review on Deadpool the movie. Even though it came out a couple months ago, it's being released on DVD right now, and we thought we'd go ahead and try to answer the question whether or not Deadpool is worth buying on DVD. And we both said
Yes.
yes, we do think it's worth buying it. Mainly that rewatchability factor is a big thing. Why do you think it's so rewatchable, Carla?
I really think that it's a very intelligent movie. It's really funny. Uh, the actors are really, they do really good their job. It feels like sort of spontaneous. Like all the dialogue, all the action seems like really spontaneous.
Yeah, you can tell the dedication from everybody who had a hand in this movie. It feels very detailed. Um, it's very beautiful. The action scenes are so well crafted that would you say that that's one of the biggest reasons for that rewatchability factor?
Yeah, when you watch it, you will see this. Like the opening credits are beautiful. Like it's all a scene that's paused and
In slow motion.
yeah, in slow motion, and all of that is really really well done. I really like that.
Yeah, there's so much for your eye to look at that I think just like any beautiful piece of art that this movie has, it could offer you something new every time that you watch it. Uh, it's very funny. It's very rated R. Uh, so if you have kids, um, I'd say that it's up to you parents what you want to do with your kids. My personal belief is that they can find anything that's in this movie on the internet and may just stumble across those things anyways without even trying, as I've done myself. Uh, so I'd say, and here's why this is even an issue. I work with kids, and kids know more about Deadpool than I do. Like, I don't know when did it happen or why or how, but like I feel like tons of little kids know about Deadpool. Um, I started learning about him in the 90s from the comic books. Actually, I was pretty anti Deadpool for a long time because I had a lack of appreciation for his creator due to a certain Levi's commercial that came out in the 90s. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. But I think that honestly, I think there might be a little jealousy there. I've been drawing my whole life, and I find like it's really hard to draw things realistically, and I feel like I need to put a lot of time and work into it. And then Mr. Liefeld, in my opinion, didn't maybe even attempt to draw realistically. I would call that type of artwork sloppy and almost, I don't know. I've seen a lot of fan art that's better, and yet very successful. So I'm sure there's multiple lessons for me to be learned in that way. Suffice to say, I was not a Deadpool fan for a long time. I still think this movie is great. I still want to watch it more than once. I've seen it 3 times now.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times and I still like it. And I think it's one of the things I like about this movie. It's that his girlfriend plays a big part in the movie. Like all of what he's doing after being messed up, it's doing it because of his girlfriend. I don't think he would have mind if he would get messed up and then he doesn't have anybody. But he's doing it all of this because of his girlfriend. So that's why I like it.
That I think Carla's right. I think that the love story aspect to this movie um, does add a lot of credence to it. In case you don't already know, it'll be in the title of this video. Spoilers! Okay, maybe we should have done a spoiler alert earlier, but yeah, we're not holding back. We're assuming that a lot of people have already seen this movie. Um, and we're really kind of doing this for the DVD sales. But yeah, I think that the girlfriend love relationship adds a lot to it, and I think it makes it more of a well-rounded movie. I know that she's not going to appreciate a movie nearly as much without that component to it. So, and they did a great job with that. I mean, it was, you liked seeing those parts, right?
Yeah, I really did. Yeah, I like the love part, and I really like how Deadpool is really easygoing and he's not uptight at all like all other superheroes.
But he's not a.
Yeah, he's not a superhero. He tells
Yeah,
that himself. He was. How does he call himself? Like.
He's super, but he's
Oh,
not
yeah.
a.
But he's no hero.
He's no hero, right? And yeah, he tells us that there's a lot of fourth wall breaking meta stuff going on in this movie. I think that adds a whole another layer of fun where the audience is consistently addressed. There's a lot of like Deadpool is great and fun to watch. Every time he's on the screen, I want to see more of that. But there's other characters in there too. We mentioned his girlfriend does a great job. I was kind of hoping that she was going to turn into Lady Deadpool. Or Domino, I think is the other character she could have been. But
She's just very pretty.
she's just very pretty, and she's funny, and she
Yeah,
adds a lot of
she's-
motivation. I think, and she does seem like a good match for Mr. Wade Wilson.
Yeah, she's like as easygoing as he is.
Yeah.
And we also have X-Men.
There's
In the
X-Men
movie, so
characters
that's
in the
cool.
movie, and talking about things they did right, I just absolutely adored Colossus. I think he was one of my very. And a lot of the time, I think just because of where I'm coming from personally, I actually enjoyed Colossus the most. He seemed like he was torn right from the pages of an X-Men comic book. He looked like he does in the comic books. He acted like it. I think even when I remember like me reading X-Men comic books growing up, the voice that I heard in my head during his dialogue was identical to the voice that it was in the movies. I mean, they just nailed Colossus. They got him perfect, and he plays the best counterpoint to Deadpool. You know, Deadpool is anything but, well, he's good and a whole lot more, where Colossus is just good. You know, he's
He likes to follow the rules,
Yeah.
like having breakfast, and he's with Megasonic
Megasonic Teenage Warhead,
Yeah.
which Deadpool is a fan of that name.
Yeah, exactly. And she's really cool too in the movie. Like she adds a lot into the movie. Like it's cool to see like some teenage just
And to be honest with, I just thought of this now. I bet you a lot of the younger people that can't see the movie probably really appreciated her character. I mean, I think she's supposed to be 16 in the movie, but that would be a way for like a younger person to kind of enter the film and have a way in there.
And she's like really moody, just
Yeah, she reminds me of a real teenager. Like,
yeah.
A real life teenager. Yeah, spend your money on this. If you like superhero flicks, this is one that I think you'll enjoy. If I were to point out something that her and I have a little bit of a difference of opinion on this point, I thought that where the movie could have been better for me, there's a couple things I wished I would have saw. His main motivation for killing the bad guy, for getting his revenge, is he wants the bad guy to fix his face. And I don't disagree with that motivation. But I think it could have been spelled out a little bit better for me. For example, if we were given a clue to the extent of Wade Wilson's vanity before turning into Deadpool, that would have helped me believe the plot a little bit more. Even if there was like a couple scenes of him like doing one of these in the mirror or like celebrating what a good-looking guy Ryan Reynolds is, I think that would have helped me out a little bit more. There is a scene where he's walking through a group of people and they all are whispering and being pretty rude. Lots of people over and over again are being rude and showing no sensitivity to the way that Deadpool looks without his mask. And to me, that pulled me away from the movie a little bit too, because for me, it didn't seem realistic. Where I didn't feel like if somebody who looked like a burn victim were walking down the street, that people would naturally act like that. I think that uh, more times than not, people would be respectful and not try to make someone's life worse who obviously had uh, a tragedy, a tragic accident of some sort happen.
Yeah, and probably that was his own perspective of things. Like maybe people weren't actually whispering or weren't actually saying the things that he heard. Maybe that was his own perception.
I think that's a really good point. So you're saying that maybe we were privy to how he was viewing the situation, and
yeah,
and that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think of it that way. The other little tiny, I don't know if you want to call it nitpick or just something I would have liked to see is that, like, did they do a great makeup job on his face? Yeah, without his mask, he was repulsive. He was gross. But I would have liked to see that upped a little bit. Like, I think that if he was missing his nose, if you could see through his cheek, if there was a scene where he was eating and we could see like his molars chewing because there was a hole in his cheek or something like that, then I think that the other characters' reactions to his disfigurement would have been more warranted to me, because it just he looked like a realistic burn victim, and unfortunately I think somewhere along the lines I've seen pictures of people who looked worse, and not that I necessarily enjoyed that at all, but it would have added a little bit to the plot if we could have got a little bit zombie-ish in there. I'm not talking, I know he's not a zombie.
Yeah.
I get it. But like zombie-ish, where he's just a little, and as Deadpool points out to us in the movie, again breaking the fourth wall, they probably just didn't have the budget for it to CG his face every time he took his mask off. Or maybe, or I don't know. It seemed like there was some CG happening on his facial expressions, which I really loved. That I loved seeing the mask like move with Ryan Reynolds' face, cool. And how like his eyes get like a little bit bigger, just like they do in the comic books. And it was like really done well. It didn't look hokey. It didn't look. Everything looked really, I thought, looked really polished in this movie.
Yeah, everything. Like, of course, you wouldn't even think about budget when it seems like they had enough of it to just do whatever they wanted with it, and it was all really well done.
Yeah, it was really, really well done. I think there's a little bit of something for everybody in this movie, and I mean, my mom, who compared to me is pretty straight-laced. I can imagine my mom liking this movie. I could imagine my dad liking this movie. I can imagine them being a little bit thrown off, but you want to be thrown
some good laughs.
Yes, definitely some good laughs, and I like being surprised. And actually, I think I would enjoy seeing this movie with my parents, because and I'm saying I am totally liberal compared to them. My dad's a full colonel in the Army. My mom is a child psychologist and a realtor, and I still think they would both dig it, for real.
So watch it. Doesn't matter.
Watch Deadpool.
Yeah, definitely.
It's worth your time.
Yes.
And I think it's gonna change the way movies are made from this point on. I think that the people who make movies and that audiences are finding out what it's like to be really faithful to the source material, and what kind of reaction that gets from the movie-going public, and which is a really big, good one. Deadpool kicked a lot of butt in the theaters.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad that it did, because it's making me even more excited for more comic book movies that are going to be made and be affected by what Deadpool did, namely Wolverine 3, Old Man Logan. I'm so pumped for that movie. Even if they don't have the rights to the Hulk and the other Marvel characters, I think Deadpool did a huge favor to the Wolverine franchise, because I think that now the next Wolverine movie's got the potential to be a really great movie because of Deadpool in many ways. So
watch Deadpool. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up, comment,
yeah, please, if you like this at all, give us a thumbs up. Any suggestions that you guys have, anything that you want to say, we're really interested. Please check out my artwork if you can. There's links below to it. If you want to see what it looks like on gear, there's a link to where you can buy some of my artwork on shirts, backpacks, cell phone covers, not cell phone, smartphone covers, excuse me. But yeah, and let us know. Thank you so much for your time and checking out. I think we're going to be doing JLA next time, Justice League of America. We just got done watching all the Justice League cartoons, both the original and the Unlimited series, and a few of the movies. And so we're thinking of doing a review on that to start hyping everybody up for the Justice League movie that's coming. We're super excited for that. We're a little bit more DC than Marvel. So although we love Marvel and all the Fox properties too. So rock and roll.
Bye.
Bye-bye.